and welcome to the first ever interview in my new series called In Conversation With. I'm your host, Aggie, and I will be interviewing translators, interpreters, and language professionals and letting them to share their stories. And today I have a great pleasure of hosting the incredibly talented, innovative business translator, Sylwia Biczyk. Sylwia, what's the weather
Hello.
like in Poland? Is it any better than last week?
Well, actually, it's pretty nice right now, although this morning it was rainy really hard and I have to wash my windows before Easter. So, well, I was not sure whether I would, but I think it's nice enough uh, to do it later on.
You gotta wash that windows. For those of
Yes,
you, who are maybe not familiar, washing the windows for Easter is a time-honored Polish tradition,
yes,
where you get
absolutely.
to clean all the nooks and crannies. That's brilliant. So Sylwia, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a bit about your background?
Sure. So my name is Sylwia Biczyk, and I've been English to Polish business and legal translator for over 12 years. I help Polish and English speaking companies build effective and solid communication so they can cooperate, thrive, and prosper. I translate mainly agreements, reports, business documents, and I take every project very seriously because that I know that my client's success depends on the quality of my translations. And in spare time, I like tracking and also doing puzzles. And my biggest one was over 2,000 pieces.
Wow, that must have taken a long time. 2000,
About
wow.
4 weeks. So it's not that, it
Wow.
wasn't that long. I really, I like to, when I have that moment, I really like to use every spare minute putting the image together. I like, uh, I like when there is order coming out of the mess.
That's very satisfying, I must say.
Yes, it is.
So you've got so your professional focus is very, very formal and very business oriented. So
Yes.
tell us what made you venture into this very fun and engaging medium that is recording clips, because I know that lots and lots of people would absolutely love to try create their own videos and clips, but many people feel a little bit maybe scared. So tell us what
Mhm.
made you start recording your videos.
Yes, I can totally relate when you were just talking about some barriers because I also had them, and of course it's not a nice place to be. I thought that I had nothing interesting to say, or maybe that my accent, wasn't was thick enough, and people would pay attention more to me to my accent than to my message. And to be honest, it was quite a list. And also, I thought recording videos would be very time consuming and I would need fancy equipment. So there was quite a lot that I had to deal with, I guess, like everybody else. But I like challenges. I like trying new things. And at some point, I felt that my purely written content is not enough, and that I would like to diversify and also introduce some variety. And on the other hand, I heard that videos are great for building relationships, that they shorten the decision-making process for our clients. And I thought, I should try it and see how it would be. And I decided to take a formal course on video recording because I felt that I needed that knowledge. I needed guidance. I needed a teacher that would show me the best techniques, somebody I could ask questions. So I found such a course in Polish, and then it just happened that I came across a challenge on LinkedIn. So it was a 10 days, 10 videos. And I thought, what a perfect moment for me to try all this knowledge that I just acquired through that course. And it was just the right kind of motivation to help me start acting and really doing the job. So this is how I started, and then I got used to it really, and it became a part of my marketing tool. It became my marketing tool. And it became a habit to once a month or twice a month sit, have a moment and just record my videos, and then I can use them and publish them on LinkedIn.
So you've
So
actually
it was
answered one of, sorry, go on.
no,
Okay.
just wanted to say that it was a process. It was nothing. It didn't happen suddenly. It was a process. I also had to get used to it, to record and to hear my voice, to see myself on, in the camera. So it was a process, but I accepted it, and it became much easier after that.
This is brilliant. So I'm sure many of our listeners would be very happy to hear that. Indeed, it's not the case of just doing it overnight, and it actually takes a lot of work and a lot of preparation behind the scenes. So this challenge sounds really interesting. So am I correct in thinking that you had to plan and maybe have a whole schedule written down if you were to publish 10 videos in 10 days? Because that sounds quite an intense effort.
Yes, yes, but fortunately for me, the organizer said that they don't have to be consecutive days, so we can just spread them over time. So it did give me um, some space to breathe and to plan and just accept it. Otherwise, I don't know if I would be able to finish it, but I did. And it was just great experience. And now when I watch those videos, I really laugh at, I mean, I'm not laughing, but I smile at my efforts then and my first steps, the baby steps that I took. And it's really wonderful to see how much confidence and experience I acquired since then. My videos are obviously not perfect, but they are good enough for me and for my audience. And that, I think that's the most important thing.
I think you've absolutely hit the nail on the head with them being good enough, because again, that's probably one of the things that we have got at the back of our heads.
Yes.
If we use a medium which is so direct, like videos, where you really have to kind of get out there and show yourself, and I think it's great to kind of embrace that notion of it not having to be 100%, beautiful and
Yes.
HD and polished. So tell us, Sylwia, what does your process look like? So, for example, from the moment when you get that idea, all the way up to posting the videos on LinkedIn, which I, by the way, am obsessed with. Even though we come from very different backgrounds, Sylwia and I really like to watch a video because it just teaches me something new every time, and it just gives me ideas on what to do for myself. So tell us about your process. How does it all come together?
So first of all, I think that it's easier to categorize the videos that you want to record. So I have three categories. They're educational videos, entertainment, and engagement. So 3 E's, as I call them. And it's just easier for me to think about ideas and to come up with the ideas for particular videos. So, for example, in education videos, I share my expertise. I answer clients' questions. I discuss some situations that are translation related that they might come across. And I always try my videos to be very concise, to be like bite-sized knowledge, as I call them, because we don't really want to bore our clients. They expect
Exactly.
from us with this kind of videos, they expect some knowledge, and we want to give it to them. So other types of videos that I post are more conversational in style, more direct. And for example, with entertainment videos, I can show myself from a bit lighter side. I can joke a little bit more. My goal is to show myself as a normal person. And so I can, for example, I can share a difficult situation, a difficult experience that I have overcome. And with my third type of video, that's engagement. And here I want to build a relationship with my viewers and show them that I'm worth liking and trusting. So I can, for example, share my values, or I can show people that I work with, or what's going on behind the scenes, really, when I translate. So when I know what kind of videos I will post, I usually try to batch them, which means that I try to record more than one video at once. So it really saves me time. Um, well, I have to prepare myself, like put on some makeup. I have to do warm up. I have to um, prepare a script. So when I do more than one video, it's just, it's less time consuming. And then, so on one day, I, for example, do the videos, and on another day, I will edit them and prepare a post that will accompany the video. And I usually have one day a week that I do it. So for example, every second Sunday, I record videos, and this is time when there are no mails. It's quiet. So I really I feel more comfortable recording then. Mm, and that's it. So easy.
This sounds this sounds deceptively easy, but it looks like you've put a lot of thought into categorizing and um, basically thinking in a particular kind of vein for each type of video, which is great,
Mhm.
because again, a lot of people struggle with ideas on what to put into the videos, and maybe have a bit of doubts on whether a particular topic would be interesting. So
Mhm.
this is great to see that you've got that diversification in mind.
Yes. And
So
yes, and if I can add something, I think that our viewers also expect some balance. So they don't want only professional, serious videos. They want also, they are interested in seeing us as, regular people. So sometimes it's really good to mix and to talk not just about translations, but, our um, other things like our interests or some situations that we came across. Of course, we don't have to, expose our privacy, but just
bringing
just
that
have a
human side,
conversation
if you
with the
will.
viewer.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So you've got a bit more of a relationship, which is
Mhm.
great. So for example, from the moment of you, by the way, do you write down ideas? Do you kind of brainstorm, or what does that phase of preparation look like for you?
I got used to being open to ideas popping in, so to speak. So when I take a walk in the morning before I start
Oh,
work, I usually take a walk, and this is a great creative time for me. So when an idea hits me, I just pull out my phone and I record quickly, what I just thought about. And then when I get home, I listen to it or put it down, and this way I don't forget about it. And sometimes just regular everyday situations can inspire us to share something.
wow. Well,
For example, the other day, I put the video about it. We had a pizza at home, and I don't know, it just struck me that real homemade pizza is like a human translation. It's like the real thing. But frozen pizza is like machine translation. So it's just pre-prepared, and it's just the taste is not that great, and that's exactly what happens with machine translation. It's not personalized, and there errors happen. So it's much better to have human translation
I I
than the
think
machine one.
I think that's a great metaphor. Thank you for that. Because sometimes when you buy, it happens to me all the time. I get very excited when I buy this pizza, and you can see all
Mm,
the toppings on the back, on the cover of the packaging, and this and that, and you open it, it's just bare. There's like two
yes.
solitary pepperonis.
Mhm.
So yes, I think this is a great point about something that's personalized and geared towards a particular audience, and
Mhm.
made with love, if you will, versus something that's just machine produced. So
Mhm.
thank you for
Yes.
that. So you've mentioned about your creative process. You talked
Mhm.
about the whole creation phase, and again. Um, for many people, the whole idea of tech and using recording devices and tinkering with settings and editing may be, quite overpowering and overwhelming. So
Mhm.
please tell us, how did you overcome maybe this initial reluctance, and how did you conquer all the tech in order to be able to put out those videos in a really timely way without that much of a work being without spending loads and loads of time on it, if you will.
Sure. Well, the good news is that all you really need is your phone
Oh,
and
wow.
not much else. So there goes one of the limiting beliefs about doing videos. Of course, if you want to make your video more professional or more attractive, there are a few gadgets that you can use. And I think that the most important would be to have a tripod, so the video is stable, a microphone, so the voice is better, and also a lamp if you plan to record videos in like in the evening or not in natural light. So I think these three things would be basics. But then, of course, there are other things like editing programs, and um, I think that the most important thing is just to take little steps, so you don't feel overwhelmed, and you give yourself time to get used to all those things, because you really have to learn how to use them, right? So little by little, I would say. But the most important thing is that if you want to start, you need your phone, and that's it for the beginning. And then little by little, you just perfect your technique.
Okay. That's great to hear again, because
Mm-hmm.
I know that not everybody has external hardware or fancy kits. So that's great to hear. And indeed, modern phones have got very strong cameras
Yes.
and recording
Mm-hmm.
capacities. So that's
Mm-hmm.
great. And also, am I correct in assuming that a lot of the editing software, so what I mean by that is cutting, getting rid of
Yes.
bloopers,
Mm-hmm.
and also maybe adjusting brightness, etc. Am
Yes.
I correct in understanding that a lot of these apps and software is actually free to use, or very cheap to use?
Yes, there are some free. Of course, there are some limitations. So, for example, I use a program called Capwing, and it has a great free plan, but there are some limitations. For example, if I work on my video, I have only 2 days when I can download it, and after that
Okay.
period, it's just archived.
Okay.
But this is for my needs. It's enough. So I can edit my film, meaning that I can cut some elements, or I can add some emojis. I can add subtitles, and for basic needs, it's enough. But also the paid plan is not that expensive. I think it's less than $20 per month.
All right. Okay.
So
So
if
that's
somebody wants to do more videos, it's not that bad, I
okay.
would say.
Okay. So that's great news. And one more question regarding the
Mhm.
technicalities. You've mentioned batching, and people who are familiar with time management had probably heard about that. But this is a very interesting concept. Could you
Mhm.
tell us a bit more about how do you batch your work tasks?
Okay. So as I mentioned before, um, I plan my videos to be recorded like two at one time. So I prepare like as the short script or the main ideas I want to discuss, and I record those two videos, and then as I publish one videos once a week, then I know that I have material for 2 weeks in advance. And then after I record the videos, that's it for the day, and I go back to the video to edit it the next day, for example, or 2 days later. And at that time, I also prepare my post. So if two videos for me is enough, but if somebody wants to do more, then that's even better, because then they have more material to publish, and they don't have to worry that they have to find time every week to do this process again. So I think that's just a great time effective issue solution.
That sounds amazing. That sounds really well planned, because it's one of those things, you can have great plans and be really like roaring to go, but it might actually take a long more than you when you think. But if you have got
Mhm.
that time carved out to do two videos, that's like more effective, because you can take care of the
Yes.
content for next week. So that's great. Um, so I know that because of how successful your videos have been and how much engagement you've had, you actually have been invited to present at a translation conference, which is super exciting. Would you
Yes.
mind telling us about this and when and where we will be able to have the great pleasure of seeing you present live?
Well, I have the honor of being one of the speakers at the BP conferences. They are annual conferences for translators and interpreters. And every year they are organized in different cities. This year it will be in Lisbon in May. So there are only a couple of weeks left,
Ooh.
and I'm working on my presentation, and I hope it will be interesting and practical for fellow linguists. My goal is to convince them that it's worth creating and publishing videos, and it can be fun, it can be pleasure, and also a simple and effective method to acquire new clients. So hopefully they will hopefully we will see more videos from translators.
That would be fantastic. I'd love to see and indeed more because it's really interesting to kind of see what everybody else is doing and just learn from each other. So that's
Yes.
fantastic. So well done. We will be very excited to see you. So stay tuned. There might still be tickets available if I'm right for or has it been sold out the conference?
I think they are still
They're still
available.
available. Oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
brilliant. So just to round it off, for the people who maybe just want to have a bit of a nice little summary, what would be the three key points, Sylvia? Just
Mm-hmm.
three pieces of advice that you would like to share with newcomers who are thinking about embracing video content, but maybe a little bit reluctant.
Um, I think that three main things would be to look into the eye of the camera and not to look sideways, just to make that eye-to-eye connection with the audience, because this is how we build the connections and our viewers have the impression that we talk just to them. Second thing would be to smile and to look as natural as possible in front of the camera. I know that it might be difficult at first. But I think it's a good idea to relax just before recording. You can dance a little bit, sing or exercise just to take the pressure off, and then you look more natural and you smile more easily. And the third thing, it would be to add subtitles because many people watch videos without the sound turned on. And in fact, when they don't see a movie with the subtitles, they just keep scrolling.
All right.
So adding subtitles is a must.
Okay. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for this incredibly interesting interview. You've shared tons and tons of knowledge with us, and I'm really hoping that you will inspire more linguists and translators to have a stab at creating videos. Thank you so much again, Sylwia,
Thank
and
you.
hopefully we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.